Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another X-Men Evolution reaction for you guys. Today we're checking out Season 2, Episode 2 of X-Men Evolution, Power Surge. I like that title. Not sure what it's referring to. Maybe Storm, maybe somebody else. Not sure because the Surge. But anyways, Power Surge. Interesting title. So, the Season 2 premiere last week was insane because I thought they were literally changing everything about the show moving forward. Because up to this point, humans are not really aware of mutants. And so what happened was there was this soccer game, because Jean Grey's in the soccer team. They were out there supporting her. Unfortunately, the Brotherhood, who were formed by Mystique in Season 1, who are now running on their own, basically, because Mystique is just MIA. No idea where she is at the moment. But we kind of figured Magneto was there because there's some sort of magnetic force field or something that happened around the soccer game or whatever, where the Brotherhood basically revealed and outed themselves as mutants and outed the X-Mansion, all of them as mutants, like singling out all of them as well. There was a gigantic fight. There was fire to the school. All this stuff. It was pandemonium. Professor X thankfully saved the day, but he may not have gotten the job done because the new principal, he suspects that he didn't fully, cleanse his mind of what occurred at that soccer game. So, I'm about to say, with all this going down, before Professor X attempted and was hopefully successful for the most part to do this in terms of clearing up people's minds and making sure they don't remember what happened, I'm like, they're fundamentally changing the show to now humans will know about mutants. But that would have really, really hurt the kids who are still in high school because they would have to quit. They could not stay there anymore because everyone would be going after them because they see them as a threat, But it was really, really crazy episode. It was a crazy start to Season 2. You guys were commenting saying, just wait, it gets better and better and better. And so we'll see what happens. So let's dive in, guys. Season 2, Episode 2, Power Surge. Let's go.
Teammates who unanimously voted their choice for this year's Most Valuable Player Award,
Jean Grey. I figured.
Is that any way to support your housemate? Perky Jean's got enough people gushing over her.
Ooh.
I want to thank all of you.
Yeah, Jean, ride that popularity train for all it's worth.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Come on, you can do it.
She wasn't. Okay, this is a new power manifesting. Oh, this is crazy. This is bad. Worst timing ever. Oh, shit. Ooh. Oh, just staring at her. And there's silence. So maybe the power surge is about her, it seems.
Lost my head there for a sec.
Literally. Ha ha ha. Good save.
I would like to thank. Skateboarding will never be a school sport.
We're living behind the times, man.
Behind the times.
Hey.
Oh,
wait
come
up.
on.
I'll walk you to chemistry.
See you at Duncan's tonight?
Duncan's?
Party. Oh,
He was. No, he did not.
Well, it's okay. I got, all this homework.
I like chemistry. At our other
Why-
school, I was totally into
Why
it.
is she
Yeah?
talking to
You
him?
ever make a stink bomb?
Well, no.
I'm Mr. McCoy, and I'm sorry for being late. They have me serving double duty as your
What?
head coach. Lucky us. Who's up for making a stink bomb?
Okay. Oh my god, Hank McCoy, Beast? Wait. Oh, I forgot. New recruits, new people. Oh. Oh, okay. Cool. Wait, why are they playing with a soccer? Okay, anyways. This is weird.
Obviously, this is not a party I should be going to.
No, you should not. I understand you're going for Jean, but yeah.
Not football. Gee, not where I'm from.
Oh, they're there.
Pretty much done celebrating Jean's popularity.
Know what I think? You got a little thing for Scott Summers.
Okay, that's true. That is true. Mm-hmm. We know what they're doing here. Come on. Come on.
Are they really playing ping pong?
Yes.
Nope. Dueling.
Dueling. Okay, that's a better answer. Dueling. Careful.
Game, set, and match.
Okay, so
Time for
did no one see that?
Hey,
Come on, we know what's going on.
Yeah, and
Oh.
what's up with that? Well,
If I'm
Do we know why?
might as well be while we're dancing.
Like, who eats pizza with pineapple? Can't believe
Oh my god, everything's just hitting it once again. I knew it was gonna happen. And the problem is she can't tell him what's going on. Yeah.
Jean?
Oh shit! Did you think he was a threat? That's cool, but still, wow.
What the heck are you doing? Checking your chlorine level.
Yeah, sure. That was a cool shot of the moon and everything.
Jean, perhaps we should...
Aurora's visiting her sister upstate, but maybe the others are around.
Wait, uh-oh.
And that leads us back
Oh,
to
okay, good save,
where
Nightcrawler.
everyone forgets their manners and just stares at you.
I knew we'd miss something by leaving early. Be honest, how do I smell now? Huh? Where'd you come from?
Oh shit.
I,
Oh shit. Oh.
And they say I
Ooh.
follow the rules.
See ya.
Not allowed to have human friends over. Sorry.
I'm sorry, Rogue. Visits need to be scheduled for obvious reasons.
You wouldn't treat Jean like this.
Hey, that's not true. He doesn't treat me any different than you.
Hey, who gave you permission to go into my head?
What?
You're having trouble with your telepathy, aren't you?
Did you?
Oh, it's not hitting all at
Didn't have
once.
to probe your mind to realize
Exactly.
it.
I'm just tired. Don't be worried. All I
Don't be
need
worried.
is a good night's sleep.
He doesn't.
All right, then. Good night, Jean.
Don't trust it. Don't trust it, but yeah, still, yeah. Nice. This is just getting out of hand. Oh, I figured, yeah. Ooh,
Hit the showers, Matthews. You're off the team.
off the team.
Go.
He saw what you did. It's always hitting at the worst possible times.
Keep your eyes closed. Coach, go take 5, huh?
Okay.
Keep
who's
her eyes
earning a
closed.
200?
How do you know? Oh. Ooh. Okay, wait a minute. Oh shit.
Help me.
Get her out of there. Get her out of there.
I can't.
Oh wow.
Put her on the table, Scott.
Okay. The red. Oh my god. Wait. I don't know. Are they?
I can help you.
Ooh. What? Don't go in there, dude.
What is going on up there?
It's. Oh my god, it's still
Someone's
going
nuking
on.
the place.
Yeah, is Jean alright?
It's not gonna do any
You
good.
can't even get close to her. We need a plan.
Then let me drain some off.
No,
Ooh,
Rogue,
that's
it may
not
be too
good.
much for
Not a
her.
smart idea.
I can handle it.
If Rogue can clear her thoughts, then maybe I can get her to focus on me.
We don't have too many options, Charles.
Oh my god, this is crazy.
Her telekinesis seems to be rearranging matter on a molecular level.
Yeah, I really feel this is also teasing Phoenix. The Phoenix, the Dark Phoenix, all that shit, yeah.
You must do it now.
Now, even though she can do it any time. Come on. There we go. It's probably not a good idea.
Focus on it.
Scott, where are you?
Jean?
Help me, Scott.
I will, Jean. Don't tell me what you can't do. I know you better than anyone.
Okay, this
ever
is weird
has.
because it's Rogue
Or
who has
will.
feelings for him.
Come on,
Yeah.
You can do this.
Scott?
My god.
Jean!
How about Rogue who was... It adds more conflict and stuff. Yeah, damn.
Me and Miss Popularity there, we're worlds apart. Galaxies. But then I realized something.
What?
That she'd do the same thing for me.
Believe it, Rogue. We all would.
You know, that's what I like about you, Scott. You know me better than anyone ever has or ever will.
Then be with him instead of Duncan. I'm so glad I was wrong on this because I was thinking, well, maybe Power Surge is referring to Storm or somebody else. I'm so happy it was about Jean Grey and the slow reveal over time that her powers are starting to grow, transform, whatever you want to say, to the level where she can no longer control it. And they're kind of hinting and implying two things, at least from my perspective. I could be wrong. at least for the second one. But the first one, I think, is a lot of the times in the continuity of X-Men comics, even in the films, they have made a point that Jean Grey's powers are at a level that surpasses many other mutants. Like, she's one of the most powerful mutants ever. And I think that that's what they're implying. And I think that can pretty much be solidified here, that they're once again showing Jean Grey, if she was a villain, could be a massive threat against everybody else, because she literally, without even thinking, just her powers just being out of control, was taking out pretty much everybody, and they were like having to fight for their lives there to try to save her and to bring her back to calm, if you will, calmness. Like, she literally was a massive threat. And I think the second thing they're implying, besides, like I was saying, one of the most powerful mutants ever, because Professor X was not prepared for that. I think the second thing they're implying is the Phoenix Force. I don't know if they're saying the Phoenix Force is within her, or that the Phoenix Force, could, would be searching out for her. I'm not sure what version of continuity they would go with if they ever went that direction with the show, but I think they're heavily implying that as well, that the Phoenix Force could be within her, or she'll be susceptible to it if it ever shows up in the show. Like, I don't know, and I don't want to know. Spoilers, right? I don't want to know spoilers. But that's just my guess. But the main thing is she's definitely one of the most powerful mutants. So, besides all this, which was a lot of the episode, which made sense because it opens with Jean getting this award, and then she's hearing all these voices, and it's getting overwhelming, and it happens throughout the episode. Then, of course, she starts, like, throwing shit around while they're out. She's doing track or whatever, and she's throwing, like, the spear, and then there's, like, these, like, I forget what they call it, like, those, like, weighted balls that I guess you, like, do, like, you grab it, and then you, like, turn around, and then you throw it a certain distance. She started throwing those around as well, which we'll talk about who popped up in the episode as a new character. We'll get to that in a second, but because he was in that scene. But it was really just getting to the point where it was, like, getting really bad. And then, of course, we saw what happened in the third act of the episode, and she's just floating there, and things just getting all crazy and shit. But besides all that, the episode also delved into relationships between a few different characters. So it had not really been shown. I was thinking, am I going to say the word shown or stated here? Because I thought it was like stated. That's why I was like shown, stated. That's why I was like, what? My brain. Is Duncan and Jean are together, but it really wasn't showcased from what I remember in season 1. Maybe there was like a little thing or something here or there, but it was mostly in the season 2 premiere, the indication that Duncan and Jean are hanging out or something, which I'm like, why? Yeah, Scott's right there, which she even says at the end of the episode here. She's like, you're the one person that knows me the most, more than anybody else or ever will. Like, you know me the most. Like, then why are you with Duncan? Anyways, but they heavily push on that in this episode, and Scott is invited by Jean to Duncan's party, and then, of course, as she said, they're dueling. They're not playing ping pong. They're dueling each other because they're just trying to one-up each other, because clearly they don't like each other. That's why Scott was not invited to the party. Of course, Jean gets, attacked again or whatever. She starts hearing all the voices again, and it's overwhelming, obviously. So that's one relationship that we were kind of expanding more on, is Jean and Duncan, which Duncan, he seems like an ass, so I don't know why Jean's with him, but whatever. Jean is a teenager in high school. She's going to make bad decisions. This is one of them. Another relationship we delved more into, which really hasn't been explored too much because of the awkwardness, in a sense, in terms of their first real actual conversation in season 1, is Rogue and Scott. Because Rogue clearly has feelings. And I forget her name, Misty or whatever her name was, which Rogue's friend popped up unannounced, and there was like some weird moments where you have Katie come through the wall, and then she turns around and goes, "Where'd you come from?" She didn't see her come through the wall, but she's like, "You weren't there before." And then Wolverine uses his claws, of course, uses his claws to grab some fruit, and then he starts walking in front. Oh, and he turns. There's like those small moments, and of course Nightcrawler was, in his suit and everything, in his uniform and all, in all his blue glory, and then he had to hide behind Professor X's chair to turn back into human when they realized there was an unannounced human guest. But she said that. She mentioned at the party as they're leaving, because as soon as Scott showed up, she's like, "I'm out." Rogue's like, I'm gone. And she's like, "You have a thing for Scott Summers?" She's like, "No." She does. She has feelings for him. I mean, because if you think about it, when Rogue was on the Brotherhood side for those couple of episodes after she was introduced, there were times where she's clearly like staring at Scott. Of course, they have that little like like writing assignment or reading assignment they had to work together. It's like a lovers quarrel or something, couple thing. And that was, involved with Jean Grey in the Blob episode. And then you just have other moments where she's kind of helping the X-Men, and it was kind of more in terms of like a lot of conversation with Scott. So we had brought that up in the episode that she has feelings for Scott, and then they use her, because Rogue even suggested this before, like no one else mentioned it to her, but she's like, I can go and take some power away from Jean. I can go in and then we can try to get her to focus on Scott. Because we don't have a lot of options. Jean is destroying the fucking mansion. Like, she is just, boom, explosions and shit. And so, when Rogue does that, Scott talks to Rogue because Jean is talking through Rogue. And so, it's like Rogue is speaking, but it's Jean's voice. So, he's like talking to Jean, but also kind of like to Rogue, saying, trying to focus on her, and he's implying certain things like feelings. And then, of course, as soon as Jean is back, he walks away, and then she's like all sad and shit, like Rogue, because she does care. She does like Scott, which is like, this is interesting. I like the fact that this is something a little bit different, right? The idea of Rogue and Scott together. But then at the end, Scott goes and talks to Rogue and thanks her for everything. And she's like, well, when I went into Jean's mind, I kind of realized, because she doesn't like Miss Popular, she calls her, whatever she calls Jean. Like, she just doesn't like Jean. But she also said that she would do the same thing for me if I was in that situation. It's like, and Scott's like, pat on the shoulder. We all would. We would all, like, that's the whole point of the X-Men. That's the whole point of what we're doing here. We're willing to do whatever, because they were risking their lives to save Jean. Now, we know why Scott was doing it, but like, literally, did Spike with his skateboard, which, okay, did he have to go in there? No. Did Kitty have to go risk her life to do that? No, but they had to, because it's their friend, it's their colleague, it's their teammate. If they don't, then she could literally destroy the whole building, and who knows, will she ever stop? Right? Will she just continuously expand her destruction path? Potentially. So this would be really bad. There really wasn't, and I was expecting this. We'll get to the, I should have got to this character sooner, but the principal, there was no indication that maybe he's still remembering something. Maybe that's something down the road, because they ended season 2 premiere, implying that the new principal wasn't fully brainwashed by Professor X, but there was no hint of that in this episode. So finally getting to the actual character they introduced in the episode. Sorry guys, I have a lot of the things I'm trying to get to and I'm fucking tired, so I do apologize. Hank McCoy pops up in the episode. Oh my god, it was so cool to see him. Pre-Beast, but he's there. And so he shows up for a brief moment. First of all, just briefly, I don't know why Kitty was walking with Avalanche to class, or Lance, or whatever the fuck his name is. Don't know why, because he's an ass. Why would you fucking walk with him, Kitty? What are you doing? Besides all that, out in the actual track field section, where, by the way, Duncan was kicked off the team because he saw what he did to Scott. Hank saw what Duncan did to Scott. We're knocking him over and the glass fell off. There's a brief moment where Hank says that, keep your eyes closed, and then hands him back his glasses and put it on his face. And he's like, what? He's like, take 5. He's like, okay, thanks, but how do you know that I have to keep my eyes closed? Aww. And then when those weighted balls were being flown everywhere by Jean, when she walked in and they started floating and flying everywhere, he grabbed them. The way he grabbed them, like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I mean, we know who he is, but does he know who they are? I think he does. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I loved it. It was so cool, because I'm like, oh, okay, it's like it's a new teacher or whatever, and all of a sudden it's like Mr. McCoy. I'm like, you saw me. I lost my shit. I was so happy. That's cool, man. That is so cool. So anyways, that's the episode. I'm pretty much, I covered everything. Yeah, pretty much for the most part. This was a pretty interesting second episode compared to episode 1. We're diving into Jean's powers and implying multiple things. Hank McCoy's introduction. Oh, we also saw a little brief moment with Iceman, and I don't know who that was next to him, but we saw a little bit of that. So, and we also see 2 other characters as well, as Scott's trying to get down the stairs. Wolfsbane, and I forget who the other person was. So they're slowly, showing that these kids are still around, but I'm hoping we get to really meet them at some point, right? Hopefully. But overall, this was a pretty good episode. Sorry, I can't talk today, and I can't wait to see what happens next, guys. It's been a fun ride so far, and we think we have plenty more to go with the show. But yeah, season 2 is definitely starting off pretty interesting. I feel like, and they're able to do what they've been like, even though these are not like gigantic stories, like what they're doing here is making more of an impact because they've already established all these characters in season 1. So now we can really dive into some more interesting storytelling and the character dynamics and all that kind of stuff, and we can introduce, to Hank McCoy and stuff like that because we've already established the roster of characters. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. I'm curious to know your thoughts about the episode, guys. Let me know in the comments below. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.